Good evening and thank you for joining us for ABC 57 News at 5. Everyone, I'm Brian Connie Bear.
And I'm Tiffany Salme. We're learning new details on the tragic crash that claimed the lives of 4 people, including Indiana's 2nd District Representative Jackie Walorski.
Yeah, the Elkhart County Sheriff's Office today revising the preliminary crash report that blamed the other driver. They say the report sent out yesterday was incorrect. Deputies now reversing the original narrative and now confirm it was Zachary Potts driving a Toyota SUV who crossed the center line at the time of the crash on State Road 19 in Elkhart County. Walorski, Potts, the Congresswoman's district director, and her communications manager, Emma Thompson, were all headed north on State Road 19, not south as originally reported, when they collided head-on with 56-year-old Edith Schmucker of Napanee, killing all 4 people involved. It was not Edith Schmucker's fault.
Tonight we have more ABC 57 live team coverage with crews out across Michiana as friends, family members, and colleagues honor the lives lost. ABC 57's Jordan Hatfield starts us off live in Elkhart County near the scene of the deadly crash. Jordan.
Tiffany, investigators from the Elkhart County Sheriff's Department are still working to determine what exactly caused the crash. But after some initial confusion, we now have a better picture of what went on during the accident. That killed Congresswoman Jackie Walorski and 3 others.
State Road 19 south of State Road 119, possible 4 patients, unresponsive.
Around 12:30 Wednesday afternoon, first responders were called out to State Road 19 just south of the roundabout junction at State Road 119 in Elkhart County. Police say a Buick LeSabre, driven by Edith Schmucker, and a Toyota RAV4, driven by Zachary Potts, with Congresswoman Jackie Walorski and staffer Emma Thompson, crashed into each other head-on. Now, initially, it was believed that it was the Buick that crossed the center line, colliding into the Toyota driven by Zachary Potts as it was traveling northbound. But now investigators from the Elkhart County Sheriff's Department have revealed that it was Potts that crossed the center line, not Edith Schmucker driving the Buick. All 4 were killed in the crash, despite wearing seat belts and airbags deploying. Neighbors who live along State Road 19 told me that drivers often go too fast on this stretch of road. We still don't know why Potts crossed the center lane or how fast they were traveling. And we have reached out to the Elkhart County Sheriff's Department for more on this investigation, but so far they have declined to comment. The Elkhart County coroner is also investigating. For now, live in Elkhart County, Jordan Hatfield, ABC 57 News.
Jordan, thank you. And Congresswoman Walorski was admired by all she worked with. In Rochester, people are remembering her for her ability to get things done. ABC 57's Julianne Grahowski is live outside her offices in Rochester after speaking with the mayor about their friendship. Julianne.
Tiffany, many Hoosier communities are still reeling with the sudden loss of their representative. That's true even down here in Rochester. You can see behind me some flowers are laid outside of her office. And the mayor telling me that the work she has done in this community will never be forgotten.
God was never going to let Jackie leave this world standing still. She was moving, constantly moving.
Successful Congresswoman, dear friend, passionate politician, and good person are how people in Rochester, Indiana are describing Jackie Walorski.
It's a loss of a good person.
A very good friend, a very good leader, a very good person.
Walorski had strong ties to Rochester and was a familiar face in the community.
She had an office here, had a representative here full-time, so she had people available full-time to talk to people about issues and anything and everything.
Her work goes far beyond what she's accomplished at the Capitol building.
And they deserve the American dream.
Her work and her constituents' communities are what people here say they will remember the most, especially her dedication to local veterans. Walorski had a passion for supporting our nation's heroes.
It's a tough road for veterans sometimes, you know, and she was always there if you went to her office. I know I had a friend that ended up there, and they helped her office and helped him get stuff through the VA and get his disability that he deserved.
Her connection with the city goes deeper than her work. Walorski was somebody that Rochester's mayor called his cousin for 7 years.
All of a sudden, I tagged her my cousin. And so whenever we were out and about, we would have some great fun. I would refer to her as my cousin. And any notes that she sent me, and over the years she sent me a few notes of appreciation and thanking me for my service. She'd always end with, "Jackie, your cousin."
And one of the last notes sent to him from his cousin, he will forever hold close to his heart.
"Dear Ted, Mr. Mayor," in quotes, "thank you so much for all you do for us. I am so grateful. Jackie Walorski," and then in quotes, "cuz."
And I was told by the mayor that actually the pen I'm wearing now, you may not be able to see too well, but it has the American flag and the Indiana flag on it. But he gave one to Jackie as well, and she would wear it as a way to represent her commitment to her Hoosier constituents. And stick around for ABC 57 News at 6 to hear more about Walorski's presence in Rochester and what she's accomplished in this community. Live in Rochester, Julianne Grahowski, ABC 57 News.
Well, Congresswoman Jackie Walorski was also dedicated to the fight to end the opioid epidemic. She was traveling to an event at the time of the crash, and one of the last people she spoke with was the mayor of Warsaw. ABC 57 Night Team anchor Tim Spears is live after talking with Warsaw Mayor Joseph Talamer. Tim.
And well, Tiffany, the mayor of Warsaw obviously still processing all of this. It was less than 24 hours ago that he saw Jackie Walorski, Emma Thompson, Zachary Potts here in Warsaw doing the work to help Hoosiers through their own form of public service. And he said the reaction, outpouring of support and condolences, as well as the disbelief to this tragedy, just speaks to how respected they were in their fields. And speaking specifically about Walorski, he believes the sentiments we've seen that have been so genuine and kind is because people also saw Walorski as genuine, sincere, and kind.
You know, let's be honest, Jackie would walk into a room, she'd say hello, she would smile, she would listen, she'd move on to the next person. There wasn't a stranger in the room. And I would venture to say she tried to shake everyone's hand or listen to everyone or talk to everyone before she left the room.
And speaking to that point, he said even though Warsaw wasn't technically a part of Walorski's district, through redistricting it was going to be in the next few months, and she wanted to get out here, get to know people on the ground. He said that's just how she was. Live in Warsaw, Tim Spears, back to you in the studio.
Tim, thank you. A lot of people in mourning, no question about that. The Congresswoman's top staffers, Zachary Potts and Emma Thompson, of course, also lost their lives in this devastating crash. Potts served as the district director, campaign manager for Walorski, and was the St. Joseph County Republican Party chairman as well. Emma Thompson worked as Walorski's communications manager, and those of us in the media dealt with both of them on a regular basis. ABC 57's Luke Schrock continues our live team coverage outside Walorski's Mishawaka office with how those two losses are being remembered. Luke?
Well, Brian, Zachary Potts was known for his tenacity, getting Republicans elected locally, and his time with Congresswoman Walorski. Emma Thompson was also well regarded by her colleagues for her tenacity, her drive, and her sense of humor. And I know here at ABC 57, we've worked with her many times. Potts started his political career with the Indiana Republican Party in 2014 as the Victory Team captain, recruiting volunteers to increase support for political candidates and turnout on Election Day. He was also the vice chair for the St. Joseph Republican Party, the chair for the 2nd District Young Republicans, and he worked as Jackie Walorski's campaign manager in 2017 and was currently serving as her district director in the House of Representatives.
We're just so heartbroken for Zach, his family, for his fiance Ashley. It's just terrible that they're having to go through this and just the suddenness, and I think it really makes us appreciate all the people that you love and care about that are in your life, make sure you tell them that.
More local politicians are reacting to the tragedy as well. Jason Kring, a Republican candidate for county council, writes, "I'm still trying to process today's news. I can't even put into words how I feel. This is a great loss to our community as well as our country. I will forever remember my friend Jackie Walorski and Zach Potts. Without them, I would not be where I am today. I ask everyone to pray for them and their families in this trying time." Zach also worked closely with Emma Thompson. Thompson graduated from George Washington University and was the president and CEO of Johnstown Area Regional Industries. She worked as the communication director for Republican Congressman John Joyce of Pennsylvania, and she joined Walorski's team as her communication manager in 2021. In a statement, Congressman Joyce says, "For 2 years, I had the privilege and honor to work with Emma Thompson. Emma's intelligence, creativity, drive, determination, and humor were second to none. Emma's work ethic was unparalleled in addition to leading my first re-election campaign. Emma was the voice of our team, connecting with and reassuring our constituents throughout the COVID-19 pandemic." Both Zachary and Emma will be remembered for their sense of humor and their hard work. And I know when I interviewed Zach months ago, just in those few minutes of interviewing him, I could just tell his tenacity and his professionalism. Live in Mishawaka, Luke Schrock, ABC 57 News.
Luke, thank you. Our hearts go out to all the families impacted by this horrible crash. And tonight, a vigil is happening at Jimtown High School in Bago Township. ABC 57's Annie Kate is live for us right now. Annie.
Tiffany, I'm across the street from Jimtown High School here in Elkhart, where in a few hours there will be that prayer vigil taking place to honor the life of Congresswoman Jackie Walorski. It will be held in this parking lot across the street outside. It'll start at 8 p.m. and the public is welcome. This is the community she is from, and this is the community that she visited regularly. Tim Hankey with the Hubbard Hill Living Wisdom Community Retirement Home says she went out of her way to visit retired veterans there. She did this without fanfare, and he says she always remained present in the moment. He says she was a woman of faith and let her religious values drive her politics. Tonight, the community will pray to honor the woman and her faith. And this is what Hankey has to say about Jackie.
First and foremost, Jackie was a lady of faith. That's what led her. That's what guided her into politics. That's what took her to Washington. That's what took her to the State House. That's what kept her going. That's what kept her running.
And we'll be on scene at the vigil tonight, reporting live in Bago Township. I'm Annie Kate, ABC 57 News.
All right, Annie, probably going to be a lot of tears there tonight, certainly. The tragic loss of Jackie Walorski has many people asking, what happens now? How is a sitting member of Congress replaced? Well, the U.S. Constitution and Indiana state law dictate a special election must be called by the governor, Eric Holcomb, to fill the vacant seat. It all depends on the timing, though. Right now, there are 96 days until the November 8th election, so there will be a special election to pick a replacement, and it's conceivable the special election could happen on the same day as the general election.
For Indiana, the set rule is that if we are more than 74 days out or more from an election, the general election, there has to be a special election.
We are currently 96 days out from the November election. Walorski was set to face off against Paul Steary, the Democratic candidate, in November, and William Henry on the Libertarian ticket. The Republican Party here in Indiana will likely select a candidate to replace her on the ballot in the special election. More on that part of the story coming up on ABC 57 News at 5:30. Now, what's clear, however, is replacing Representative Walorski's experience will be a very tough task. Her extensive career spanning decades. In 1991, she graduated from South Bend Riley High School, and then later in '85 from Taylor University, a Christian school. For the next 4 years, she served Michiana not as a politician, but as a journalist and storyteller at WSBT-TV. She eventually moved on from reporting to help animals as the director of the St. Joseph County Humane Society, before then taking positions at Ancilla College, then IUSB as a fundraiser throughout most of the 90s. It wasn't until 2004 that Walorski would enter the political world, holding the 21st district seat in the Indiana House of Representatives for 6 years. Then in 2013, moving on to become the 2nd District Representative in Washington, D.C. And while there, she championed legislation to improve the lives of Hoosiers' families, veterans, and businesses. And stay with ABC 57 News throughout our 90 minutes of news for continuing coverage on the tragic death of 2nd District Representative Jackie Walorski, as well as her staffers, and 56-year-old Edith Schmucker. We'll hear from former U.S. Senator Joe Donnelly coming up next half hour.